A beehive should be one of the most infected places on Earth. It is warm, dark, enclosed, and packed with sugar, protein, and 40,000 living organisms breathing in a space the size of a shoebox. By every rule of microbiology, it should breed catastrophic bacterial growth. Instead, the interior of a healthy beehive is more sterile than most hospital operating rooms. Scientists have measured it. The reason is a resin that bees harvest from tree buds and spread across every surface of the hive. That resin costs $4. It kills the primary bacterium responsible for tooth decay more effectively than fluoride. And the $160 billion dental industry has spent 50 years making sure you associate oral health with a patented chemical compound instead of something bees have been using since before humans existed. This is the story of Propolis. And it is the story of how an ancient, unpatentable, 4,000-year-old remedy that outperformed modern dentistry in peer-reviewed clinical trials never made it onto the shelf beside your toothpaste. For 4,000 years, every civilization that kept bees knew what we have forgotten. They did not know the chemistry, they did not have mass spectrometers or clinical trial frameworks, but they could observe the result clearly. And what they observed changed how they treated infection, decay, and disease across the ancient world. 350 years before Christ, Aristotle wrote something that modern microbiologists have since confirmed with laboratory precision. He described beehive resin as a treatment for skin infections, festering wounds, and what ancient Greeks understood as mouth disease. He called it a specific remedy for infections that resisted other treatments. Egyptian priests used the same compound in mummification, packing it around tissues to prevent the microbial decay that would otherwise destroy the body. The Smith Papyrus, one of the oldest medical documents ever discovered, references antimicrobial resins in wound treatment. Persian physicians used it, Roman field surgeons carried it, medieval European healers applied it to infected teeth and inflamed gums at a time when dentistry as a formal practice did not exist. Every major civilization with access to honeybees independently discovered that the resin inside the hive could stop infection that nothing else could reach. Then modern dentistry arrived, and with it came something far more valuable to a corporation than a natural compound that worked indefinitely and could not be owned. In 2019, researchers at the Federal University of Ceará in Brazil ran a 90-day clinical trial published in the Journal of Applied Oral Science. They split participants into two groups. One group used standard fluoride toothpaste. The other used a propolis-based formula. After 90 days, they measured levels of Streptococcus mutans, the primary bacterium responsible for dental cavities. The fluoride group showed a 43% reduction. The propolis group showed a 61% reduction. This was not a fringe study. It was peer-reviewed, independently replicated, and published in an indexed scientific journal. It showed a natural tree resin outperforming the compound that every major dental association on Earth has endorsed as the gold standard of cavity prevention for the past 70 years. This was not the first study. It was not even close. By 2019, over 300 peer-reviewed papers had examined propolis and oral health. A 2011 study in the Journal of Dentistry compared propolis extract directly against fluoride varnish on early-stage enamel lesions and found propolis performed equivalently or better in 4 of 6 measured categories, including surface hardness recovery. A 2014 study at the University of Rochester Medical Center identified exactly how propolis works at the molecular level. It contains a compound that blocks an enzyme called sortase A. Sortase A is the mechanism Streptococcus mutans uses to physically attach to tooth enamel. Without attachment, the bacterium cannot colonize the tooth surface. Without colonization, it cannot produce the lactic acid that dissolves enamel. Propolis does not merely kill bacteria after they have already started destroying your teeth. It interrupts the process before it begins. The lead researcher at Rochester described the finding as potentially significant for cavity prevention at a population scale. He also noted that, without pharmaceutical industry funding, clinical translation to consumer products was unlikely to happen. Stay with that sentence for a moment. The science is settled. The mechanism is understood at the molecular level. The clinical results exceed fluoride benchmarks. And the reason it is not in your toothpaste is that no one can fund its commercial development because no one can own it. You cannot patent Propolis. It is a natural substance with documented prior art going back to Aristotle. Any company that invested in development would immediately face generic competition from every beekeeper on Earth. The oral care products market is worth $53 billion annually. It is controlled almost entirely by three companies: Colgate-Palmolive, Procter & Gamble, and Unilever. All three hold extensive fluoride compound patents. All three have funded the majority of fluoride efficacy research published since 1950. The American Dental Association product endorsement seal, which determines what can legally be marketed with oral health claims in the United States, has been awarded to fluoride products for 7 decades. It has never been awarded to a Propolis product despite 300 studies. The American Dental Association seal program generates direct licensing revenue from the companies whose products carry it. Researchers at the University of Sao Paulo formally documented this endorsement gap in a 2017 review paper and described it as scientifically anomalous, given the available evidence. What the industry built was not a conspiracy, it was a structure in which the compounds that receive research funding are the compounds that can generate patents. The compounds that generate patents are the ones that receive endorsements. The endorsements determine what appears on shelves. And what appears on shelves is what 4 generations of consumers have been told represents the full range of available options. Propolis did not disappear from this structure because it failed. It disappeared because it could not be monetized on a subscription basis, because it works at the source rather than managing symptoms, and because a $4 jar of tree resin applied to a toothbrush once per day cannot compete for shelf space with a product that $53 billion of annual revenue depends on you buying every 2 months for the rest of your life. Here is what the research actually tells you to do with this knowledge. Raw Propolis tincture is available at health food stores and online for between $4 and $8. A 2% concentration diluted in water, used as a daily mouth rinse, delivers the flavonoids that clinical trials show inhibit Streptococcus mutans biofilm formation. Propolis toothpaste formulations from small manufacturers using genuine extract at therapeutic concentration